So the Trans-Pacific Partnership that we're working on, it's the biggest trade deal that we're working on right now, has to do with the Asia-Pacific region. And it reflects our values in ways that, frankly, some previous trade agreements did not. It's the highest standard, most progressive trade deal in history.
Today's video is brought to you by Timberline Range Camps. That's Timberline Range Camps. Check them out at sheepcamps.com. These are the ultimate bug-out survivalist vehicles. They're awesome. They've got a couple different models. These are down-home folks, really good people. Check them out at sheepcamps.com. That's sheepcamps.com. Timberline, built tough. What up, players and hustlers? I'm Christopher Green. You're tuning into AMTV Alternative Media Television. It is Tuesday, June 16th, 2015. And what in the world is TPP? Is it like when you go toilet paper your friend's house when you are a teenager? Is it some kind of weird acronym that we can't pronounce? What exactly is it? Because the internet's talking about it, talking about TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, what the politicians, the bureaucrats call some kind of trade agreement that they say is going to benefit us, although they've been operating in secret and none of us are allowed to read it. Isn't that telling? So what is it? Honestly, I don't know. Because as an American, we're not allowed to read this agreement. But we can guess what it is. We can read the definition on Wikipedia of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which they say was drafted June 3rd, 2005. This has been in the works for some time now, and it has member countries, including Chile, Singapore, New Zealand. It says that the Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP, is a proposed regional regulatory and investment treaty. As of 2014, 12 countries throughout the Asia-Pacific region have participated in negotiations of this agreement. Australia, Brunei, if I'm saying that correctly, Canada, Chile, Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, New Zealand, Peru, Singapore, the United States, and Vietnam. The proposed agreement began in 2005 as a Trans-Pacific Strategic Economic Partnership Agreement. The TPSEP, or P4, participating countries set the goal of wrapping up negotiations in 2012, but contentious issues such as agriculture, intellectual property, and services and investments have caused negotiations to continue into the present. On the 12th of November 2011, the 9 Trans-Pacific Partnership countries announced that the TPP intended to enhance, this is what they say, trade and investment among the TPP partner countries, to promote innovation, economic growth, and development, and to support the creation and retention of jobs. So they sell it, they pitch us this secretive document that none of us are allowed to read, that only a handful of bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. can read, is all about opening trade. It's benefiting the people, right? It's to increase our trade relationships and supposedly to increase commerce with these member countries. Well, what's notable about it, the first thing I see is when it's talking about intellectual property and, of course, digital content. The fact that they want to control that. They want to control things like copyright. The fact that we see really that entire world of copyright change over the past few years with the unearthing of this digital world. We see this in video, like what you're tuning into right now with YouTube, and our ability to use under fair use certain clips and footage from other videos, etc. So this appears to be some kind of tribunal among host nations, member countries, a non-judicial tribunal that basically can overrule independent countries' sovereignty. Now, all of this sounds complex. It sounds confusing, and that's the intention. That's the reason for all these acronyms, the TPP, and there's all these other ones that they've made up, and they throw them around, and nobody really understands what the hell this thing really is. Well, that's the intent. It's why it's secret. It's why it is secretive. So when it is released to the public, I will delve into it in a little bit more detail. Of course, read parts of the document as much as I can. I'm sure it's thousands and thousands of pages. We'll be able to really get the unearthing of what all this means. But until then, we don't really know what the TPP is. I know one thing though, it's worse than SOPA, it's worse than PIPA. It covers intellectual property rights, digital content, this free flow of media that directly affects us and directly affects you. Now, allegedly, and Obama's been pushing this his entire administration. This is supposed to be a hallmark of his administration, just like immigration, just like basically bringing the races together. He said hope and change, that we were going to form this kumbaya society, only to have like the Ferguson riots and more racial tensions and divide than we've ever had before. A society now that embraces people transforming themselves into females even though they were born male, people faking their races, etc., etc. Now, there's supposed to be another vote, I guess. I don't think it's secret, but another vote today on Tuesday, which is today, in regards to the TPP, or one of the other acronyms that has to do with this trade deal. So the point of this video and the point of the TPP is it isn't toilet paper. We're not allowed to read the document yet. It covers all kinds of trade relationships and agreements with these host member countries and the United States, and specifically targets intellectual property and digital content, something that WikiLeaks has actually exposed some of the document to the public, which I believe you can download courtesy of WikiLeaks. So keep your eye on the TPP. Keep your eye on the Trans-Pacific Partnership. At the very least, as we're waiting to get all the information so we can actually read this behemoth of a document, at least let your friends and family know that this is a direct threat to our civil liberties, to the sovereignty of the United States, which is now borderless, and these new centralized global governments that they're trying to create, a non-judicial partnership which basically strips the United States of its sovereignty, and every country and every member nation of its sovereignty, so that they can create laws, and the politicians can't be held accountable for the laws that are created or imposed non-judicially. Not a part of our country anymore, not a part of the United States. Again, this overreaching global entity, which is the direction that global government is moving, the direction that the United States is moving, the direction that the European Union is moving. It's about global government, global control, and these partnerships include member countries and member nations. The United States doesn't have any borders anymore. The United States doesn't have its sovereignty anymore, and all you have to look towards is these types of agreements and partnerships being created and pushed by the criminal Obama administration. Get this video out everywhere. I'm Christopher Green, hard-hitting it in your face as usual, and click the link below to support our sponsor. Today's video